It's Sunday night. That means it's Horror Syndicate Discourse night. We didn't really have a show planned for tonight because we weren't sure about if we were going to go because Jared's unavailable. Nathan Thomas Milner was over at Horror Hound all weekend, and I had a lot of friends there, and all it did was make me jealous, wishing that I was there. Maybe the next one. I need to make my grand return. I haven't been since 2019. Not that anybody cares, but so Seth and I just decided that we're going to take that meme that we've put up numerous times and ask. We're going to ask you to make us pick between two movies and whatever else. This kind of be a general ask us anything type of thing. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but you can throw them at it, and then we've got a bunch that people threw up on our post about the show. So we'll do that, and we'll discuss why. Um, Getting text messages, so that's cool. Happy Sunday, and happy Sunday, Seth. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Confused as normal. Um, I'm trying to get to the Facebook page. Is Are you planning on seeing this movie Immaculate? I keep hearing about.
Uh, Possibly. It's not really. It's not one like I'm in a rush to go see. I know about the ending. I spoiled it for myself, but
Oh, that's
my
cool.
my priority right now is I wanted to go see Late Night with the Devil, but I was gonna go see that this weekend, but I have to go next weekend instead because that's when I really want to see.
Yeah, that's I'm avoiding trailers this year, and if it's
Good move.
something I think that could have the potential of being in our list, for the end
Yeah,
of the year, I'll go. I'll wait.
yeah.
Um, so we've been also going through March Madness this month and asking everybody else to pick between two movies. And today, I posed the question, and there he is. I was wondering where Sean was. I had fun with it.
I
The
still
ending's
want to
not
see that
great,
too.
but I saw it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of build up. It felt like it was filmed like a TV show, if that makes any sense, rather than a movie. Meaning like they were like it could have been like an episode breaking up into episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have broken it up in like three or four episodes or something like that.
Well,
And
I've
I
heard it's
wonder if
got
that's
like
a streaming issue. What?
I was gonna say I heard it has like
Yep.
a lot of different plot points and a lot of side stories and stuff. Is that accurate?
There's a lot going on in it, but I had
Yeah.
fun overall. Yeah, kind of. There's a lot of good scenes in it, but everybody's going to judge for themselves. But based on our brackets, we've done a 70s, 80s, and 90s bracket so far. We're in the middle of a bracket up from 2000, 2009. Because when I say 2000s, people think it's all of the years of the 2000s, which it's not, because that would be the 2010s and the 2020s. Um, the winners so far of the brackets, and they'll go into a final four, are John Carpenter's Halloween, John Carpenter's The Thing, not John Carpenter's The Silence of the Lambs. And my favorite for the 2000s bracket is Trick or Treat, but I have a weird feeling Shaun of the Dead's going to come out the victorious because people are fucking stupid. I like Shaun of the Dead. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's better than Dawn of the Dead 2004. But the question is, I asked is which one of these three has the best chance of winning, or who has your vote? Which movie? And as of right now, out of 800 and let's see, minus nine, so 888. Out of 888 votes, the Thing has a 383 of the votes. Halloween has 378 of the votes, and Poor Silence of the Lambs has 127. Seth, which one gets your vote?
Well, I think Halloween will come through, but my vote would be The Thing.
Yeah, I'm almost certain Halloween. When we had to actually ban Halloween from ever competing, in these brackets, and then eventually we had to when that stopped winning because it wasn't in like because the horror syndicate started doing these brackets in 2016. When Halloween wasn't in there, then The Thing started winning, and when that was out, then because I had to ban movies because it was like the next one was A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like quit making it so fucking obvious. So what's going to happen is the 90s Silence of the Lambs will be going up against the Halloween movie, and then whatever wins from the 2000s goes up against The Thing, and then whoever wins between Silence of the Lambs versus Halloween will go up against The Thing probably because I doubt it's going to beat what one of the movies from the 2000s has what it takes to beat The Thing.
It's going to be it's going to be Carpenter versus Carpenter, and that's actually in itself a great matchup because there's like sort of like a the two most popular opinions for John Carpenter's best movie is either Halloween or The Thing, so it'd be kind of cool to see them go head to head and see what the majority of people vote for.
And so we've had this matchup before.
Oh, have
4
you?
times we've done it in the history. I had to look it up. Yeah, so Halloween versus John Carpenter tied 2 apiece. They both won. So against each other. So yeah, this would be the best of 5 situation. So it would be fun to see who comes out on top. And John Carpenter's The Thing annihilated everybody it faced. Halloween didn't. Halloween had a one close call. So I think The Thing has the best chance. That's going to get my vote anyway, especially if it comes down to those two. While I love John Carpenter's Halloween, I think I actually like Silence of the Lambs better, but that's me. So
interesting. I mean, they're. I mean, really, all 3 of those are great movies.
Yeah. So for this show, like I said, make us pick between 2 movies and we can explain why. So all you got to do is comment in the comments below 2 horror movies and we will pick out of those movies. And I'm going to get us started since nobody's done it yet. And Phantasm or Poltergeist. This is the first comment that came up from Jennifer Price on the Facebook page.
I'm going with Phantasm.
I'm going Poltergeist. I like Poltergeist a little bit better because I love the family aspect of it. I love that it's got a very happy ending, and kinda, the whole that iconic scene where they roll the TV on the trolley out.
Yeah.
And I just love it. Craig T. Nelson's great. The whole cast is great. I'm a big fan of the Poltergeist movie. I know you love Phantasm. I love Phantasm too. No, don't get me wrong. I love Phantasm. Not Phantasm 2, but Phantasm.
Well, it's like, I vote Phantasm, but I also love Poltergeist. Poltergeist was a movie I watched a lot as a kid. But I think just thinking in terms of now, which one would I reach for? I go more towards Phantasm. I love that whole franchise.
Yeah.
Poltergeist, it's been a while since I've watched it. I think the last time was a couple years ago. I showed it. A couple years ago, I showed it to the kids, and I think that was the last time I watched it.
I think that's a great gateway movie for kids to get into horror. Right? It's not too scary. It's got some scary scenes, but
Oh, dude! When I was a kid, that one scene where the guy's face is coming off, that scared the crap out of me.
Oh yeah. All right, next one up, and feel free to answer. I saw Shirley Foster answered. Sinister or The Omen? Now, The Omen, I'm guessing, is the 1976 original, in which we're getting a prequel called Omens coming out this year. But for my money, it's going to be Sinister. Sinister's awesome. That one blew me away. Just the snuff films alone was enough to make me pick Sinister.
Yeah, well, that's another great matchup where I dig both, but I'm going to go to The Omen. Just last year we were talking about doing a show on The Omen, and so I dove deep into it, watched all the movies, I read the book, and I have a strong appreciation for that movie. I will say though, Sinister is really freaking good, and like the type of movie that Sinister is, as you know, isn't in my wheelhouse. It's not like I don't gravitate towards those type of movies, but there was a very creepy, creepy atmosphere to Sinister, especially when he's watching those old home movies or whatever. Sinister's really, really good.
I love that. And there's another thing. Like, there's scenes where he's sitting there in his office watching these movies or pouring himself over the computer, and just behind him is complete and utter blackness. The absence of light. You're like waiting for something to happen, and a lot of times nothing happens, but it's still you're on the edge of your seat waiting for something. It's been like 10 years since I have seen The Omen. The remake was okay. Yeah, two different movies completely. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the remake was kind of pointless. I mean, it wasn't awful, but it didn't really have the same punch.
No, it didn't. It's funny. My brother-in-law, and my friend Edgar were all getting ready to go see it on the day it was released, which was 6/6/2006. And that same day, my X-Men DVDs from the 90s show, which is the big talk right now on the internet, the X-Men 97, came in the mail, and we watched that instead. We just sat there and watched X-Men rather than going and seeing The Omen. It took me till it came out on DVD to watch it. All right. Next one, the 1988 Blob remake versus the 1986 Fly remake.
Oh, man. I saw that comment earlier, and I just want to say fuck you. I love both of those movies. I'm probably going to... I guess I'm going to go with The Fly, just by a hair. Because I think it's
The Fly hair.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest remakes ever. Jeff Goldblum is outstanding in it. The effects is outstanding. The score is amazing. I just love The Fly, and of course I love The Blob as well. I think that's such a fun movie. I just rewatched that a couple weeks ago, and I love it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with The Fly.
So The Blob is one of those instances where the remake is better. The Fly, and I love the original Fly with Vincent Price, is really good, and I think ahead of its time, but the remake is so goddamn good. Body horror, Cronenberg, great effects. I'll take the Fly over the Blob, even though I really like both of them quite a bit, and Goldblum is so good in that movie. And you get to watch Brundlefly eat, a shotgun to the face.
Yep.
All right, this is a slam dunk for you. Halloween 2 versus Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Oh, god damn it. You're talking about the 1981 Halloween 2?
I bet it is, yeah.
Oh, that's so tough. I guess I'm going to give the edge to Friday 13th, the final chapter, because that's my favorite Friday 13th movie, whereas Halloween 2 is my second or third favorite Halloween movie. So, and it's one of those where I love both. But I'm going to give the edge to final chapter. I know what you're going to say.
Of course you are. Yeah, Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Final chapter is boring. I'm sorry. I'm like the only person on earth who can see how boring that movie is. I like it, but it's Halloween 2. There's so much more to it than boring old Friday the 13th Part 4. And I'll probably be the only person who ever says that it's boring. It's Joseph Zito is just boring as a director. Go watch The Prowler. That movie's boring as fuck too. Here's a weird one.
It never bores me.
Yeah, well, you have a what is it called?
Impeccable Taste.
What is that called? No. Doesn't matter. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Man, it's been a while since I've seen both of those. To be honest
It's
with
easily Killer Clowns. In my opinion,
yeah.
it's easy. Killer Clowns.
Well, the thing is with me is like I kind of fell out of love with Killer Clowns. Like I loved it when I was a
I've
kid,
never
but
been in love with them.
trying to watch it a couple years ago, I just couldn't get into it.
You do hate everything. That's two things I don't like: Dark Knight and Final Chapter. That's not everything. It's two things. And I also didn't say I hate Final Chapter. It's kind of boring compared to the other ones. I would go with Killer Clowns because it's more fun and there's no fanfare for the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Nobody ever talks about that. I should
No,
change that. Put it up on the Facebook page.
it's
Okay,
been like I saw that in the sequel like a long time ago, but not
I
since.
barely remember it. I haven't seen it in so long. Yeah, Killer Clowns is fun, but that's not one that I go to watch very often. It's like once every
Yeah.
5 years for me. The Strangers or Vacancy. I've never seen Vacancy. This one's from Keith Garrett. Uh, so by default, it would be The Strangers.
Vacancy, is that the one with Luke Wilson?
Wait. No, is that the one? No, is it Luke Wilson or is that the one with John Cusack?
No, the one with John Cusack is Identity.
Identity. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Now, yeah, you're right. It's got Luke Wilson in it. Yep. Nope. Never seen it.
Yeah. I think I saw it a long time ago, but I don't remember shit about it.
Yeah.
Did you say you haven't seen Identity, or you have seen Identity?
I have seen Identity. I like that movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So The Strangers or Vague. I have to say Strangers because I've never seen the other one. How about this one? John Carpenter's Stephen King's Christine, or Stephen King's Brian De Palma's Carrie.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with. I'm going with Christine.
I think Christine gets boring at points. I think Carrie's much better. Just my opinion. There's some cool stuff with Christine, but there's also there's some scenes that's like, whoa, I hate that fight scene in the garage with the bully. That's like one of my least favorite scenes in the whole movie.
I like it. I think it's kind of fun. It's like like there's a thing with like Stephen King bullies are like psychotic, but
yeah, they shouldn't be in society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh God, some of these are bad. Saw or Elvira? I'm guessing Mistress of the Night. I would say a Saw. Elvira, that movie's dumb. Sorry.
Yeah.
Alexa Fernandez. Yeah, there's no need to go any further with that one. High Tension or Them? Another bad one. High Tension is one of the best horror films of the last 30 years, 25 years. Them, 2006. I don't remember that movie. Hold on. I'm thinking of Them, the Wes Craven movie. Is that the same movie?
Yeah,
I've never seen this movie.
It's like one of those Wes Craven Presents, right?
No, it isn't. This is different. It's directed by David Murnau and Xavier Palude. I think it's French.
Oh, I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. Yeah, it's French. Yep, never seen it. I have to look for that one.
Yeah.
How about Christine as John Carpenter's most underrated movie? I think it's Prince of Darkness or In the Mouth of Madness. Nobody talks about those. People love Christine. Okay. Okay, here's a couple of them by Michael Edquist. From Beyond or Reanimator? Call me crazy. I'm going to go with From Beyond.
Yeah, totally From Beyond.
Pieces or Nightmare in a Damaged Brain? I've never heard of that. I like Pieces quite a bit.
I haven't seen either of those.
Pieces is a good movie. You don't have to go to Texas for a Chainsaw Massacre. Mimic or Kronos? Neither for me. I've seen Mimic and Kronos, and I didn't like either one of them. So, Mimic, I guess.
I've seen Mimic, but I have not seen Kronos. Those are two Guillermo del Toro films, right?
I believe so. Leviathan or Deep Star 6? I've not heard that Deep Star 6 in forever. I withdraw myself from that one because I couldn't tell you. I know of Deep Star 6, but I couldn't tell you if I've seen it or not.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen either one of them.
Okay, let's just keep moving then. How about Jaws or Alien? Jaws.
Alien.
Gross.
I fucking love Alien.
It's another one that just doesn't grab me. None of them ever have. It's dry in parts. I know it's supposed to be like a haunted house type thing and a slasher at the same. I just never could get on with Alien, any of those movies at all. It's like the new trailer looks cool, but it's like I'm not gonna go out of my way to see it. I still haven't seen Covenant, I think is what it's called. I'm just not that big of I'm a sci-fi fan, but I don't like the Alien movies almost like they're not high on my priority list ever. Chud or Return of the Living Dead? This guy Kevin Mullen gave us a bunch. Return of the Living Dead is obvious. Chud's actually underrated in my opinion. But
never seen Chud.
You never seen Chud? Okay. So you would pick Return of the Living Dead. The Burning or Sleepaway Camp? Fantastic. This is a good one. How about Alien or Event Horizon? I'd take Event Horizon. Because I'm different like that.
I would still go with Alien, but I love Event Horizon as well.
Yeah, I do too. Sleepaway Camp or The Burning? Have you seen either of those?
I've seen Sleepaway Camp. I haven't seen The Burning. There's a lot that I haven't seen, and just to put it out there's a lot of horror movies I haven't seen, and there's a lot of other stuff that I have seen that almost no one else has seen. So,
I really like, or I really think you'll like The Burning. Honestly, do.
I almost bought the. Didn't Scream Factory put out a collector's edition of that?
You should buy it. Yeah, it's worth buying.
Yeah, I almost bought it like a couple years ago, and I just never did for some reason.
Yeah, you should. Definite good piece to have in your collection. I think Nate did the art too.
Oh, did he?
For it. I think so. This is a fun one. I'm gonna save that one. Okay, Dead Alive or Zombieland? Dead Alive for me.
Dead Alive, definitely.
Yeah.
Zombieland's fun.
Fun movies. Yeah.
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 But Dead Alive is batshit crazy.
I love it. It's so fucking nuts.
It is so like, yeah, that's a movie I really need to watch again soon.
Kevin Mullen, if you ever watch this, I like your picks, man. These are good ones. Evil Dead versus Pet Sematary, not a good one. I would pick Pet Sematary. I like that one better, but I love Evil Dead.
The original Evil Dead?
Yes, the original. The Evil Dead.
Oh man, that is a really tough one for me.
Really? I thought that'd be like a straight Evil Dead for you.
I absolutely love the original Evil Dead is awesome. It's like one of my favorite horror movies, but at the same time, I grew up with Pet Sematary. I'm a big fan of the book, and and just I think I'm gonna lean towards Evil Dead, but I gotta say I adore Pet Sematary as well.
I love Pet Sematary. Okay, this one might not be for you. The Gates of Hell, which is City of the Living Dead, or Tombs of the Blind Dead. If you would have said Return of the Evil Dead, which I think is the title of the second one, I would have a tougher time, but it's definitely City of the Living Dead, or Gates of Hell, if you will. But Tombs of the Blind Dead's a good Spanish horror movie. Have you seen that one? I didn't think you did.
Nope.
Sometimes Dead is better. Okay, here's his last one from Kevin. It's Friday the 13th, Part 5. And this is, first of all, I will say, I think this is an easy answer question, but it's a fun one. Or Halloween 3. And the reason why I
Oh,
think this is a good one because they're both very underrated and underappreciated in their own franchises. Very good
yeah,
question. It's obviously Halloween 3, but
yeah. Halloween 3 is like I have a deep love for that movie. Back before it was cool to say that you liked it, I've always spoke highly of it. But Friday 13th Part 5 is a lot of fun, and
mhm.
I really just I get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of the characters, and there's something about it that I really enjoyed. But Halloween 3 all the way for me.
I think that Halloween 3, I like what you said about you liked it before it was cool to like it.
Yeah,
It took me a while to like it. I'm not gonna lie, because like when I first saw it, and we talked about this on the show, I'm like, sitting there waiting for Michael Myers to show up, and he never shows up. I'm like, what the hell, So I hated it, and I feel like that might be like something that happened to a lot of people. I watched it on USA or something like that, never showed up, and these are also movies that don't have the main character in them where Jason's not in this one. But I mean, after he dies in part 4, that's supposed to be the end of Jason. What are you supposed to do? Why not a copycat? That's a great fucking idea, And it's we're back to the formula of the original movie. It's a who done it, and sure, it's a little bit zany, but it's a fun movie with some good kills, fun characters. Tommy Jarvis is great. It's the second chapter of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. It's underrated, man.
yeah. Well, just to touch on a couple of your points there. Like as far as Halloween 3 is, I didn't have your experience. So like when I watched it for the first time when I was younger, went into it knowing that Michael Myers wasn't going to be in it. So I didn't have that expectation. So I think I was able to just kind of, and not to mention I heard it sucked. And then when I watched it, I had fun with it,
Mm,
but I was able to just kind of
yeah.
watch it open minded, knowing that has nothing to do with Myers or Haddonfield or anything like that. And then with what you're talking about with uh, Friday 13th Part 5, I think it was actually a really cool idea. Again, going like you said, going back to the original, we have a vengeful parent, and the idea is that this person uses the legend of Jason to get revenge on everyone who had nothing to do with his son's death. But it's a fun movie.
I agree. I like them both quite a bit,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
always look forward to watching 5. And 5 keeps moving up on my rankings list too. Um, I don't know about yours. Uh, Rosemary's Baby or The Exorcist. Rosemary's Baby every day, all day of the week for me. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I love The Exorcist, but man, Rosemary's Baby, it gets me right here. And that scene at the very end, he has his father, or what's wrong with his eyes? He has his father's eyes. Guy's eyes aren't like that. Satan is his father. I love that scene. That's one of the
Yeah.
best. That's the best part of the whole movie, really. But the build up to that is really great. A lot of paranoia in that movie too. I love paranoia in film.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I just watched Rosemary's Baby for the first time last year, or whatever, when we did a show on it, and I
Yeah.
think it's a really good movie. Um, as far as The Exorcist, I've never been a huge fan. Like I'm one of the very few weirdos out there
Mm-hmm.
that prefers Part 3. Um, I don't know. This is a tough one for me because I don't know. I'm leaning more towards the tie. I don't know. It's hard to say which
I
one I
don't think
prefer
you're a weirdo
because,
that likes part. There's a lot of us that like part 3. Just so you know.
well, I just mean as far as like choosing the third one over the first. I mean, I know how revered the first one
Oh,
is,
okay.
and if you don't like it, you're a cocksucker according to people on the internet. But
Yeah, it's true.
um, I just saw someone like blow up on someone who said they didn't like it on the internet the other day. but I don't know. It's like I
People agree.
enjoy. Yeah, I enjoy both movies for what they are. Um, I don't know if I could pick one that I like better than the other because they're both kind of equal to me.
Mm.
So there's my cop out answer of the night.
Yep, the cop out answer. How about Autopsy of Jane Doe or Suspiria, the original Suspiria? Autopsy of Jane Doe for me. I think Suspiria is good. It's not even Argento's best movie. What do you think?
Autopsy of Jane Doe, is that the one we did a show on a couple months back?
We
It
did.
has okay. Um,
Yeah, Brian Keith and I don't know, the guy from Speed Racer or something like that.
oh yeah, Emil Hirsch.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Suspiria.
Okay. All right. How about Madman or Friday the 13th Part 2? Pat O'Brien, I'm going to stop you before any. Madman is not very good. That's Friday the 13th Part 2.
I've never seen Madman.
I'm not going to do this.
What is that anyway?
All right. It's a slasher from the 80s. It's very forgettable. That's why nobody ever talks about it. Kale Schrauf says Hatchet or Terrifier? I don't like either of them, really. I think Terrifier is one of the most overhyped, overrated movies of all time. Just period. It's awful. It's not a good movie. The Art the Clown is the best part of the movie, and there's some fun kills, inventive kills, but overall, it's just not a very good movie. It sucks. Hatchet, I would probably take Hatchet. At least there's somewhat of a story. And no offense to David Howard Thornton, who we've had on the show before, Kane Hodder is more of an icon than he'll ever be. So, what about you? Hatchet or Terrifier?
I have not seen either of them. I've been wanting to watch the Hatchet
You've never seen
movies.
Terrifier?
What's that?
I think they get better after the first one. The second one's much better, and the third one's they get better as they go, with the exception of Victor Crowley. That one's just okay. That's
Yeah,
like
I've
being
been wanting
trapped in a
to.
plane for most of the movie.
I've been wanting to see them. I've heard a lot of people talk about them, but it's just another one where I guess I'm too busy watching shitty werewolf movies to check out shitty slashers. But
Yeah,
it
that's true.
is true. And then Terrifier, I don't know. There's something about it I just don't really have any interest in. I heard the second one's pretty good, but
It's not.
it's
One of
not.
the same. It's better. No, it's better, but it's also almost 3 hours long for some reason. And it's like, why is this movie so long? And it's
Yeah.
just gore for the sake of gore. There's no
Yeah.
story. Art the Clown's going to become a horror icon because like this girl came into the bank the other day wearing a Terrifier jersey. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Terrifier, get out of here.
It is, you know, I do have to say though, as far as Terrifier, like, I think it's awesome though that this super indie horror movie kind of took off the way it did. Like, it's pretty unprecedented.
Damien Leone, the director.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is, and I think Damien Leone is a kind of a jerk because he's big leaguing people now. Like the people who helped share his movie, helped put his movie on the map. He's turning around being dicks to him because he's big leagues now. So yeah,
Wow.
fuck that guy.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, Paul Soneria, who's been following the horror from the beginning. Yeah, who cares? He'll never know that I even said that. Prophecy 1979, which is about the bear thing, and then Prophecy 1995, which I guess is about angels and devils and shit. Which I watched last year for the first time and didn't care for it. So I guess I would go with 79.
Never seen 79.
Have you seen either of them?
I do dig the one with Christopher Walken, and even I think part 2 of that series is better, but yeah, I haven't seen the 79.
I couldn't get into the 95 one. It just didn't catch me. All right. Stephen Davis says Hereditary or It Follows. Hereditary for me. I like them both.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hereditary.
Yeah, It Follows is good too, though. Would you like It Follows?
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed It Follows. Yeah, but I think Hereditary, I felt had a little bit more weight to it, and you know, I mean, it's nothing I lose my head about. But I think I do like Hereditary a little bit better than It Follows.
I lose my head about. It's nothing where I'd gain a peanut allergy either. I love the ending of Hereditary. It gives me some like almost the same vibes I get when I watch Rosemary's Baby. So
Yeah,
definitely need to rewatch. We never talked about Hereditary on the show, have we?
Yeah, we did. We did that. We did it like way back when we first started Discourse, I think. Yeah, we had
that was with Roman and what's his name?
Yes.
Tyler.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe this show is coming to an end. We've done everything. I can't think of anything that we haven't done. It's like Jesus. Well, I mean, we were doing 2 shows a week for like a year, so
yeah.
And we covered all the big franchises, sometimes more than once. All right, last one that we got here is a dumb one, in my opinion. Friday the 13th. I'm guessing original versus Halloween. I'm assuming original. So we're going to do this 2 ways. We're going to go the 1978 version of Halloween versus the 1980 version of Friday the 13th. I get my vote goes to Halloween. Obviously, Friday the 13th is a weak movie overall.
Yep, John Carpenter's Halloween all day, every day. The original Friday 13th, well, it's grown on me over the last couple of years. It's I don't even know if it's like halfway through my ranking list of that series. It's not one of my favorites. So
I don't think it is actually. I think if I remember correctly, it was on the latter half.
Yeah.
When we did our show.
Yeah, and it's growing on me. Like, I enjoy it for nostalgia purposes. Like back when the series was so simplistic, and I do love the location and everything, but I don't really think very highly of Sean Cunningham anyway. So
yeah, I know, but you don't like if you're gonna put up something the best of a series versus a middle level movie of the series, you kind of I feel like you need to put the best of the series. So it should have been either Jason Lives or The Final Chapter versus Halloween because those there's no better movie in the Halloween franchise than Halloween. And then
True.
there's and Friday the 13th has 2 possible better movies than the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the second movie's better than the original movie. So, like,
I've been saying that for
yeah, I agree with you. I think the 5th movie might even be better than the original. Second part of the question: the 2007 Rob Zombie remake versus the Marcus Nispel 2009 Friday the 13th. I would go with Friday the 13th in this case.
Same here. Like I don't mind Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's got issues, but I can't go and rewatch it. Whereas I think Friday 13th, 2009 is so much fun. And
yeah, it is.
Derek Mears is badass as Jason. For the most part, I like the cast. I think it's just a fun movie. Like I can rewatch Friday 13th, 09 way more than I can rewatch Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah, and that's something I like to think about when in a lot of these matchups is because we did one of these as the meme a couple of weeks ago, and I like to think of rewatchability. It's like, there's
Yeah.
two ways to think about this, and one is which one am I going to reach for first,
Yeah.
and which one am I going to watch again? And I agonize, not agonize, but I have a hard time. It's like when it's time to watch Halloween '07 or the Rob Zombie Halloween, it's like have to think about, do I really want to watch this? Do I want to put myself through this again? Like I don't feel that way with '09. I'm like, yeah, it's a fun ass movie. I think it's a little underrated actually. I get that people don't like the tunnels or whatever. I don't give a shit. That was something different. I mean,
that didn't bother me whatsoever.
I don't see why it would bother anybody. Honestly, it was something different, and it is what it is.
And it's not even like one of the dumbest things in the series. I mean,
no, it's not.
We have an entire movie where there's toxic waste getting flushed to the city of New York in the sewers.
Yeah.
The tunnels don't bother me.
No, it's fun. And yeah, Derek Mears was good, like you said. Not a big fan of the Halloween remake, the movie, both of them. Not really a big fan of most Halloween movies after Halloween 3. Yeah, I don't know, man. He just decided to take the Myers family. He made my biggest problem with Halloween '07 is he gave Michael too much of an identity, and he put like you barely saw a face in the original movie, and this one Michael he's got a face. He would spend 45 minutes with him, and it just all right, shoot, what is it? Tell us what it is. And I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't like. I don't like the setting. I don't like his family life. People complain about his wife being a big part of the movie. That didn't bother me as much. But I don't know. Just Halloween is a movie that should have never been remade. Or Friday the 13th. The remake covers almost all the ground that the first 4 movies covered, which is kind of fun. Cat People 1983 and the Cat People original Cat People. Original Cat People plays almost like a comedy. The '83 version's really good, in my opinion. I don't know if you've seen either of those, Seth, but I think they're both good in their own right. But I prefer the 1983. I think Natasha Henstridge? Is that who's in it? Which is 1982. Yeah, Natasha Kinski.
Yeah.
Kinski. Which and she Malcolm was McDowell, really right? In this movie. Yeah, and she was like just barely 20 when she made that movie. And you want to hear something really gross? I love Hammer movies, but she was in a Hammer movie when she was 16, maybe. It's called To the Devil, a Daughter, and it's not a bad movie, but I think she's 14, 15, 16 maybe, and it shows her naked in it. Very disturbing. I remember I'm watching the movie, and then all of a sudden that happens. Like, oh wait, how old is she? I got online. I was like, holy shit, she's too young. We shouldn't be seeing that. So I actually covered that part because I felt dirty watching that. But it was a good movie overall. I'm like, what are you doing, Hammer? This isn't fucking France. Yeah. Anyway, sorry our French followers if we have any. I don't know if we do. Anybody have any other matchups or anything else they'd like to ask us? Please do so now. Seth, do you want to tell them what we're doing on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, we are covering Hellbound, Hellraiser 2.
Yes. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2 on Horror Movie Massacre. We discussed Hellraiser on Wednesday, and every Wednesday we do these shows. And don't forget, Hellraiser got a 93% with Seth and myself. Sorry, I had to bring it back. I gave it a 93. Seth gave it a 93, and our followers on our 5-star rating system that'll be coming back in April gave it a 91%. If you're following the brackets, huh?
I was going to just say well deserved.
Yeah, very, very much so. If you were following the brackets, then we will do the 2000s all week this week, and then Saturday is the final four with John Carpenter's The Thing, John Carpenter's The Halloween, and not John Carpenter's Silence of the Lambs, and then whatever wins from the 2000s. And then once that's whoever wins those two matchups goes on to the finals on Sunday, and then March will be over. And March Madness will have. And the thing is, we did 128 plus 24, 152 different movies this year in March Madness. So hopefully people are having fun with it because I shouldn't say this, but I did all of it all by myself.
There's been a lot of good matchups in that.
Yeah, and the 5-star rating system came in handy this time because I used the score. So basically everything was based off of our followers because I used the scores from them from their 5-star ratings to rank every movie. So we had 64 movies from the 1980s, which was we could have easily had 256, a bracket of 256 from the 80s because I had to narrow it down. And then the number one seed, if you will, the number one rated movie overall is John Carpenter's The Thing. It's even rated higher than Halloween. Actually, Alien is rated higher than Halloween. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, but there's been some tough matchups. The Lost Boys somehow took out an American Werewolf in London. That was sad. For you people who are watching the 2000s bracket, the people who just love Texas Chainsaw 2003, that got ousted by House of Thousand Corpses. Thank fucking Christ for that. Because I do not like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake almost at all. And I think House is a better movie. So, House of Thousand Corpses, that is. Yippee. Yes, Hellbound was better. Oh, okay. I like Hellraiser 2, 3, and 5, and 7. I hate the rest. The first two were okay. They went downhill for me. I like 3. I like 3 a lot. The other Hellraiser movies were not that bad, but do go downhill. Yes. You did a horrific job. Thank you. The film is a great film. Yes, it is. Yeah. There's just been no big surprises for me this year. After doing the brackets for 8 years, I get to know the trends basically, and I know where people's allegiances are and where the voting ends up. And oh well, but it's still been pretty fun. Hold on, I gotta figure out if we're going to be on live on the. No, it's a Friday. So Friday, April 12th, will be the Horror Syndicate's 8th anniversary. We may do a live show that day, or maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that'll be the 8th anniversary. Lots happened in 8 years. A lot of people have funneled in and out of the Horror Syndicate with writing and podcasting. The original podcast consisted of myself, Brian Enright, Jared Letourneau, Baron Craze, Morgan Swan, and Ray Canella, who actually was one of the creators of the Sci-Fi Network and Screambox. And he also wrote a movie called Mansquito. And then we cut a lot of people and started the Horror Syndicate Lives, because that was called the Horror Syndicate Live. The Horror Syndicate Lives in 2017 or 2018. And that was me, Brian Enright, Jared Letourneau, and Mike Lombardo, who made the fantastic film that'll just depress the shit out of you, I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. And then that kind of ran its course. Lombardo had a lot going on, so he had to leave the show, and Enright started doing more stuff with SAG. So we started the Horror Syndicate Discourse, which originally was me, Seth Miller, Jared Letourneau, and Keith. What's his last name? I had it.
Saunders.
Saunders. And then after the first episode, we had a guest, and his name is Nathan Thomas Milliner, and he never left. But Keith did. Keith left in, I think, 2022, and then it became mostly me, Seth, and Nate. Jared's been in and out dealing with personal stuff. Jared's always welcome. And of course, Seth and I have been doing the Horror Movie Massacre since the winter of, I think it was the winter, either the fall or the winter of 2022. And we've gone through the Friday the 13th movies, the Scream movies, the Elm Street movies, the Halloween franchise, all these different franchises, the Texas Chainsaw franchise, the Phantasm franchise, the Child's Play franchise, and now we're going through the Hellraiser franchise. Evil Dead will be after that. Lots going on with the Horror Syndicate. I saw that. I've never even heard of that movie, but I do have a Dirt Devil vacuum cleaner. So thank you. Kathy's been around a long time. That's a name. I remember people who've been around for a while, especially the early followers of the Horror Syndicate, and Kathy has been she was one of the early followers almost from the beginning. I remember that. And of course, how could we ever forget Sean Sheridan? So anyway, is there anything else you want to add to this night's show? Hopefully next week we'll have another movie that we'll go through. I'm going to ask everybody, and Jared, Seth, and Nate, to pick 5 movies that we want to talk about or review or whatever, and then maybe a couple for commentary. I want to do another commentaries. Those are fun.
I'm going to pick all werewolf movies. Andy quit.
And I quit. Yeah, I'll hand over the keys of the kingdom. So we will probably never do Wishmaster on Discourse. Nate would sit out for that episode. We could do the whole series for just like a whole episode on all 4 movies for Discourse. I mean, Horror Movie Massacre at some point, our Wednesday night show, but that'll never be on Discourse, guaranteed.
If we do that, I would like to do it just in the one episode, cover all 4 in one episode.
There's no way we can go through 4 weeks of talking about Wishmaster.
Nope. 1 and 2 I really like. 3 is okay. 4 is a fucking joke.
I don't know that I've seen 4. I know I've seen the first 3. I like the first one a lot, actually.
The first one's great.
Underrated.
Yeah.
It just missed out on being in the 90s bracket. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot we have planned for the Horror Movie Massacre Wednesday night show. It's just we got to get through everything, and we finally got through Child's Play, which oddly that's the only one that's became a task for me to get through for some reason. Like all the other ones, I was hyped about watching all these or talking about all these movies, and for some reason, like by the time we got to the remake, I was like, okay, enough's enough. I'm done with wanting to talk about the Child's Play movies. I don't know why I was like that. I think because I kept repeating the sentiment of I hate that they made a show. I think that came up a lot while we were talking about those. 1, 2, 3, yeah. But we've got a lot going on. The Horror Syndicate 5-star reviews will be coming back. Business as Usual coming back April 1st. We may do another small bracket because this was a lot in July, like we do, and then in October we make them. We hadn't done the brackets since I think 2020. I think. Do you remember when the last time we did the brackets were? Were you a part of the Horror Syndicate at the time?
Yeah. Well, I remember because you stopped for a while. You got kind of burnt out on them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because it takes a lot out of me. It
Yeah.
really does. Like it's just like October, whenever, or yeah, like October. I'm just like November 1st. I'm like I'm done with horror. Like because no, I mean we do horror year round, but October it's amped up to like 1,000 because how many people are. It's like oh, it's time to watch scary movies, and so we get more visitors and we get a lot more followers in October than we do normally. And so I'm working my ass off on getting content out. We're writing articles, doing shows, and I'm watching every horror movie under the goddamn sun. You know, so I'm usually worn out by October or by November 1st. So sometimes I'm just completely burnt out of horror by that point. But anyway,
Yeah.
no more sad pappy shit. We'll be back on Sunday next week. I will figure out what movie. Slumber Party Massacre will never be on the Discourse show, but could possibly be on the other show. We do highbrow entertainment on the Discourse show. On the Wednesday show, we can afford to be more lowbrow. So,
Slumber Party Massacre. I feel is that the one where the guy had like a power drill or something like that?
yeah.
Okay, that was a fun movie.
Yeah. I mean, they try to be kind of serious at first.
Yeah,
But boobs galore, you know.
it was cheesy, but it was I didn't mind watching it. I thought I had fun with it.
You should see if Nate wants to do that.
Yeah.
I would assume he'd say I watched it and I have nothing to say about it. That's what he'll say. Fair enough. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. Oh yeah, next weekend's Easter, isn't it? Do any of us celebrate Easter? Do you?
I mean, we get shit for the kids, but
Stop doing that. Amityville. I would love to talk about the Amityville horror. I'd have to see what the other guys say because I actually really love that movie. We'll see. What about you? Would you be interested in doing that? Because I tried to put it on the list last year, and then Nate was out for like 2 months because he had that play.
do you mean just like the first one, or go through some of the sequels?
We talked about doing Possession also because that one's really good. I think the first two are pretty solid.
Part 2 is my preferred one, although I haven't seen it in a while. I wouldn't mind covering the first two and the remake.
What's your nickname?
Sequel Seth.
Sequel Seth. Ah, okay, that's why you. I kind of figured you'd like the second one more.
I think it's a better. Yeah, I think it's a better movie.
In some ways, I think it could be. I don't know. I love the first one a lot. I don't like the remake almost at all. We'll have to chat with Nate and Jared and see what they say.
Yeah.
I know we talked about doing not Cronenberg. What's his name? The Vincent Price movies.
Mm. Oh, Corman.
Name. Roger Corman. Yeah, Roger Corman presents movies at some point. Anyway, I got nothing else for you. Seth, do you have anything else for him?
No, just Evil Dies Tonight, you know?
Yeah, Evil Dies Tonight. Have a great night, everyone.